you can just keep opening up the mind more and more. And when you do, that's when you'll soon realize, why should you ever be set on your beliefs? That there is great possibility, and with that, great creative potential. I appreciate all people, including all of the past, including all in positions of quote-unquote power. Indeed, however, I look at them as people, and as two, I see them as always great potential and great creativity, reflective to this reality for which we see often so malleable and vulnerable toward our swaying one way or another, and dependent on different environmental conditions for which even still the mind tells all. One rabbit hole to the next, what's forgotten sometimes is yourself. What's forgotten sometimes is the bigger picture. What's forgotten sometimes is connecting the dots. What's forgotten often is the very nature. Looking at all things through the lens of nature, it tells us not only open possibility, the unknown, and creating based upon it, but it tells us what's really going on, even if that too seems unclear. Our fixations are often problems and addictions. Our focus and perspective is often our direction, our attraction. It could be good or it could be bad. Looking at things through the lens of nature, we always see willpower and choice come up. Hence why the symptoms to that lens, which may be seen as lessers of nature, is often of highly debated topics and confused semantics or wordplay. As I've spoken of direction in words and roots alike, it is ironic that for politicians to be of the truth, they must leave politics. Alike, if police wanted to be of the truth, they must leave policing. Alike, if voters wanted to be of the truth, they must stop voting. Alike, if any religion wanted to know the truth, they must stop conditioning to one system of belief or of figures that speak upon it. For at the end of the day, everything is here with reason, and everything is connected. This belief is non-stop, always at a search, and never to say we know the all of the all. For all the ancient texts, political and religious, often agreed at the core. You see why people did and said the things they did and said. For they also searched with an open mind to even achieve and write such knowledge, often from nature to different directions and degrees and ways. There's been many of these that have been lost, and people keep producing, but it too just cycles and becomes lost. So what is really the answer to all this confusion? For why would all and everything be connected and agree with one another at the core and lens of nature, yet seem to look as if they are opposed to one another, or that it was wrong, or that it was right, or that it must be that way instead of that way? The answer is two in nature, as we have misled individuals into this fixation, as we have created this war from an already present and non-perfect peace, that all has truth depending on where and how you look at things. What do you do with it? Well, you speak upon that bigger picture. You act upon not taking unconscious action. It is not that there are problematic people, there are unconscious people, and many people who don't think they are problematic can actually be some of the biggest contributors to the problem. And even with that said, some will think they aren't, and the list of word phrasing for open potential and different perspectives goes on. It is the whole reason why you feel like you must believe that there must be some government, some form, because it exists for a reason and in different forms, often that of projecting society's lack of will in accepting self-responsibility. And in a voluntary society, others may still do their bidding, but it's not as easy as it is now, and change toward truth matters to none in their state of peaceful egotistic slavery, as opposed to dangerous loving freedom. Why do you think those who realize this freedom are called dangerous to only ensure a locked-on target of ironic perspective? Even when they can be the most loving, and with hate even upon them, they may even become the very thing or picture those individuals wanted them to be portrayed as. Reflective how much they love freedom, and do things that others may consider as dangerous in the very nature? Open your mind. They know the truth, which is why they twist it on you. So you are always kept confused and not knowing your natural direction among the natural law. Indeed, all the connections between the body and the world, man's law, natural law, philosophy, and religion. The irony play is the biggest tool in the fool's toolbox. They fool you. They are foolish. They even use you as the tool, yourself, to accomplish these connections for them. Sure, they may never see the full connections, nobody ever fully does, but it's to say generation after generation the ruling elite has relied on not only their connection to one another, but the tactics and knowledge used within. Psychopaths aren't necessarily dumb, but they aren't necessarily smart either, for they certainly are not in the right mind, and they've even distorted their whole view of nature like most in the mass slave class do, changing their lens of nature. Instead of through the lens of nature, it's not even going through, it's stopping and going right from instead to of the lens of nature, just like man's law instead of the lens of natural law. So where is your lens? Some virtual reality? All you got to do is put on the headset. You might have been born with it, indoctrinated with it, confused since from it, left in the dark from it, feeling angry, suppressed, depressed, full of anxiety, full of a lack of control, full of some ego. Whatever it is, it's not of balance, it is not of harmony. And to truly put your embodiment through the lens of nature will require focus, self-control, expression, understanding, and most obviously here, opening the mind. If you still have a heart and soul to hear and consider these words asking for the embodiment in the first place. It makes sense we only use the whole body if we want to understand more of the whole world. Alike, the elites use the mass populace to steer the direction of the world at large, and it starts with our own very nature, our baby self, with all our growing organs, all the chakras, all the systems, the ecosystem instead of the ego system. We must treat new beings in this world with care, for the health statistics of the near future may even rid and denature of our simple nature and abilities from such. Never lose faith, even still, no matter who you are. This is the only true war, the only true question. Don't lose touch with yourself. Spend time in nature with a free mind from all that you were taught. Try to consume all things raw. Could you do it? I know you can. You may need some more time than others. To truly look at everything from a different angle, one never even thought of or seen before to you, maybe some you denied or passed upon. Ground yourself, maybe consume more raw fruits and vegetables. It doesn't matter what you believe. Question to yourself the very nature of belief, some of which we detailed here. Then what you believe may not matter, but what you connect and understand does more, contributing to truly open-minded and more aligned beliefs, not that of left or right brain, but the middle center path. It is not about control either, fully. It is also about letting go, but then asking you the same deal. Where, what, how, why are you letting go? Where are you open? Where are you closed? It tells of all situations. And when we ask these questions, it's automatically thinking with the mind. It may invoke some feelings of the heart. But when we do, we are asking for openness. We are actively seeking the already present answers in nature. You are the question, but so it is of nature is the answer. This is why you are the messenger. You are the change. you can help align humanity to simple truth of mystery, of perspective, of natural laws, of attraction, of being, of reality. All those who act otherwise do not see the bigger picture, they do not know, or they press their knowledge for evil. Press your life-giving knowledge on none, for if it's life-giving, it is to be understood with care, like you may have here. Nature is life-giving. It is always here. We have the ability in our nature to understand. Do you care to understand? And if to truly, do you care to share or bear?